Still valued, still loved, showing grandparents they matter. In today's society, most thankful are families who still have their grandparents with them. They help in the cooking, taking care of grandchildren when parents are away, can take simple housework, help financially at least for basic needs, and so on. However, though, most of the time they're neglected, and if this is the case, they will just have to simply keep quiet and choose not to add more to the mess of families and friction, or, if they think their own children are at the losing side, will take sides. But whether this be the case or not, we are still thankful. Let us explore some of the ways we can acknowledge their presence and importance, and show them they are a significant member of the family, loved and respected. Traditionally and from country to country, our ways of showing gratitude to our grandparents vary. Grandparents biologically are the fathers and mothers of our parents, of our cousins and other relatives. They are either with the family or without, or staying from house to house for each of their children to discard favoritism among siblings. Seriously now, how can we really thank our grandparents in terms of their physical, emotional, and mental health condition, financial needs, and feeling of belongingness? 1. Physical health. Grandparents may be treated to the following: doctor's visits, healthy food, healthy lifestyle attending to them while doing less strenuous walking, stretching, or provide them some apparatus or tools that can make their movements easy, relieve pain, and feel relaxed. They may be brought to parks and areas of recreation where they can enjoy the breeze and fun of seeing other seniors in the area. Have time for grandchildren visits. If they live with the families, make sure to take the time for scheduled care for the grandchildren, that they may rest for a day or two in a week. For most grandparents interviewed, what they enjoy so much was that they can play and be with their grandchildren for the day and eventually return them to their parents without a sense of guilt or responsibility. After all, they already had a fair share of their children during their growing up years. In Proverbs 17:6 states, "Grandchildren are the crown of the aged," which explains the joy and bliss of having grandchildren. 2. Emotional health. What hurts and are a disgust to grandparents are seeing their children and grandchildren in stressed situations, having frequent fights over small matters, taking the law into their own hands for severe ones, and suing a member of the family. Add to this the silent whispers of taking for granted their physical needs and consider them as an added soul to feed. Should this happen, make rules in the house not to have Granny see them grumbling and fighting, or hear at their noses the true situations happening in the house. Let each member of the family make it a point to show love and compassion for one another. This makes them sick at times. That is why families wonder why all of a sudden grannies become quiet and aloof. Yes, it's true grandparents are too emotional, perhaps because of past experience, fear of neglect, and fear of becoming a burden, insecurity due to aging, their once strong and healthy bodies, now seemingly burdened to their children. A hug, a thank you note, a selfie with Lolo or with Lola. These gestures may seem small, but to them they're everything. 3. Mental health. Most grandparents suffer from simple forgetfulness due to aging or to dementia, Alzheimer, or other memory loss illnesses. While it's an accepted fact of life that seniors do forget due to their body's wear and tear, there are simple ways to delay this accepted fact. Families can provide materials for reading, say, newspapers, crossword puzzles, anything to write on, fixed channels for them to watch documentaries or their favorite news channel, provide their favorite books, or anything to delay the process and still think well. One thing that's common, though, among seniors, as observed by many, is that they seem not to forget money matters. Why is that the case? I haven't yet heard some kind of an explanation to this. 4. Feeling of belongingness, being significant. There was one family I knew that when their grandfather turned 100 years old, they recorded each and every story he shares with his grandchildren, from World War II to his visits abroad. This practice makes the senior proud of his exploits, so to speak, and his children and grandchildren therefore have the opportunity to ask questions about his life and experiences. In such an example, seniors feel they do belong, and they still matter and are heard about. Grandparents still feel they are still important and needed by the family. This makes them happy and look fulfilled. Proverbs chapter 20:29 states, "The glory of young men is their strength, but the splendor of old men is their gray hair. Each strand a testament of success and/or challenges they experienced overcome. Psalm 71:17 to 19 encourages believers to declare God's wondrous works throughout their lives, even into old age. Grandpa's tales of the war, Grandma's recipe for a rose caldo. They may repeat themselves, but those stories are treasures. When we listen, we affirm they still have something worth saying. Talk to your grannies oftentimes. Make it a habit to greet them each time there's an opportunity, that they won't feel neglected as some furniture in the house. Help them feel they are loved. Celebrate their birthdays, anniversaries, milestones, and anything and everything that is important to them. Take heed. Acknowledge and show interest to hear their achievements. Let them talk about their children and grandchildren's successes without bickering and jealousy. Listen and learn from what they say. Their good and bad experiences, great achievements, and lessons learned in life, as Job 12:12 states. Wisdom is with the aged in understanding and length of days. 5. Financial needs. Seniors need medication, senior diet, and a healthy lifestyle. A visit to her doctor requires means expenses. Good if they have senior benefits, and what if none or won't suffice to their needs? What can families do? For some families, they take turns. For others, they chip in for the cost and would not let their seniors hear of any discussion or disagreement on money matters concerning these things that will bring hurt. 1 states, "Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is attained in the way of righteousness." Quite unfortunate for those whose grandparents are no longer with their families, but the latter can still extend their love and care to their relatives, those in their neighborhood and those in welfare facilities, through volunteering work. These good deeds that you see and hear, you teach to your children. Deuteronomy 4 verse 9, Psalm 78, 5, 6. Did you know that there are other God's promises to grandparents that are awesome, in that their children and grandchildren should be grateful enough? Take for example the following. Isaiah 46 verse 4, "Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you and I will carry you." Psalm 73:26, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." Who can beat that? The God who made the heavens and the earth and all that therein is made promises to our grannies. What joy to have wonderful grandparents. Any grandparents live with quiet faith. Join them, ask them to pray for you, and let them know you pray for them too. It affirms their spiritual legacy. The most important thing is this: lead them to God for as long as they're with you. For families may abandon them, but God will never abandon them. He will see them through. Psalms 71:17 to 18. O God, you have taught me from my youth, and to this day I declare your marvelous works. Even when I am old and gray, do not forsake me, O God, till I have declared your strength to this generation, your power to all who are to come. They may walk slower, speak softer, and remember less, but they are not less. Our grandparents are still significant. All they need is for us to show them. Amen. If this reminded you of your Lolo or Lola, give them a call today, or better yet, drop by and say, "I love you."